Good morning, my dear students. Welcome back. So in the previous video, we have started with chapter number 7, population. And we had already discussed about population growth, then the distribution of population, what are the factors which affect population, then how is density of population calculated, what is the formula to do so, then what are the age groups, age structure, sex ratio, etc. Now we are going to start with age structure. What is the age structure? In a region, when the population is subdivided as per the age groups, this is called the age structure of the population. Here are three categories of the people. 0 to 15 will come under dependent population. 15 years to 59 years will come under the productive population. 59 and the above, dependent population. In India, the productive population is a population between the age groups of 15 and 59. Now see children, the people or the population which comes under the age group of 15 and 59 is known as the productive population, because these are the children studying in college after the age of 15 and then they start working till the age of 59. They work, so they are productive population. They are producing their talent, skill, etc., bringing up everything, but after the age of 59 they falls in the dependent group of population. The dependent population falls into two subgroups. Number 1, the people below 15 years of age, and the people above 60 years of the age. Now next is occupational structure of the population. Students, the population of a region can be classified into working and non-working groups. These people who are not in jobs or professions despite being in the productive age groups come under the non-working groups. These non-working groups is dependent on the working group. If the proportion of working population is higher in a region, then the population is termed as industrious. Such a region has rapid development. Now we are going to learn about the area of residence. Okay. Now residence means the place where people live. Now what is the area of residence that we are going to learn? Children, there are two types of residence. One is rural, one is urban. Okay. So depending on the proportion of population, for example in rural areas, they are mainly occupied in primary occupation. For example agriculture and something related to agricultural things, that is agro-based activity and primary occupation. And in urban area, population is working in secondary and tertiary occupation in large. Okay, so there is a difference between these two. So the urban population has to depend on the rural population for their supply of food, grains. Okay, so this is how area of residence can be described. Next is literacy. A normal human being, a normal person who can easily read and write, is termed to be a literate person. This definition can vary from one country to another. It depends on the country how they elaborate the term literate. Okay. The percentage of literacy throws light on the quality of population. So, when you come to know how many literate people are there in the population, you come to know the percentage of literacy. And when the child is of 3 to 4 years, the parents start teaching them A, B, C, D or 1, 2, 3, 4. Normally by 7 years, children are easily able to write alphabets as well as numbers. People above the age of 7 can be classified into literate and illiterates. Those who are literate are indicators of the social and economic development of the society. Yes or no? Children, when there is a literacy, automatically social and economical development takes place, and hence there it leads to development of cultural and progressive society. Okay. Moving to the next is migration. Now what is migration? Migration means moving of an individual or a group of people from one place to another place is called migration. These could be for a short period, long period or permanently. Various reasons are there behind migration, like marriage, education, business, transfer, tourism, natural calamities, wars, etc. Regions from where people migrate show a fall in population and experience a shortage of manpower. And on the other hand, the area to which they migrate show an increase in population, and hence there is a strain on the public amenities and facilities. See children, on page number 46 you will find a table. This table has given the percentage of migrants population of some selected countries, and below that some questions are given to you. Okay, so you can refer that page and try to understand the percentage of migrants population and the country. In the country where the migration percentage is more, job opportunities, good business prospects, the availability of natural resources and economic development are the main causes. Here people migrate and settle down for their better future. Then again an activity is given on page number 47. Refer that page, discuss and try to answer such question. Okay. Now next is population a resource. Here, what type of population is there in a particular area, whether it is quality or quantity, that is the main basis. Then you understand what type of population live there. According to that, only the development of that particular place takes place. Okay. The supply of skilled and unskilled labor depends on the quality of population. In the earlier exercise on page number 42, you notice that there was an increase in population of the town A and B. This only means that there is only growth of population, but can you say anything about the development of those two towns? Okay, if there is no houses for this increasing population, no adequate drinking water, then of what use of this growth only? In those towns, for how many peoples adequate additional drinking water made available? How many children have started attending school? Or in what city are the people happier? Growth does not mean development. Then how can development be measured? Now children, where there is a growth in population, where there is no facility available for the people living there, for example, there is no proper drinking water, no proper facilities for residents, then there are slums. Literally, when people migrate, there are no place for residents. They start building huts. Like you must have heard the name Dharavi in Mumbai, that is the biggest slum in Asia. Okay. Now let's move on to the next, that is gross national product. It means measures economic growth, takes into account incomes and taxes from domestic citizens. Now suppose children, if you want to live in a country or a place, you always will want developed or you want facilities. You will not like a place where there is no proper facilities, no proper availability of resources. So some way people only want to live on such places where they can be happy with the quality of life. Otherwise, what is the use? In the decades of 1980 to 1990, Mehboobu'l Haq and Amartya Sen put forth the concept of Human Development Index. United Nations Development Programme (UNDP) publishes a list of countries based on the HDI scores every year. HDI means Human Development Index. Now students, what is this Human Development Index? Children, today it is commonly accepted that only economic prosperity does not mean development. What is this HDI? How it is measured? There are three main parameters which are used while computing this index, and that are economic parameter, health parameter and education parameter. Let's see the very first, economic parameter. That is how the standard of living of the people in a particular area. Same way, how the development of that area is taking place, that also considered in economic parameter. Next is health parameter, that is life expectancy. How far is the medical field is developed, what facilities provided to the people for health, what type of vaccination, etc. So many things comes under health parameter. Okay. Next is education parameter. Number of schools, what type of education, how many are educated or uneducated people are there. All of these come under the education parameter, isn't it? The value of Human Development Index range from 0 to 1. Highly developed regions have a value close to 1, and as the level of development goes down, the value of HDI decreases. In an area with very little development, the value of index is close to 0. Now see students, on page number 48 there is a table given to you. Now see here, the range is from 0 to 1 and the highly developed country have the value close to 1. See this table, in this table you can see the highly developed country is Norway. Its value of HDI is close to 1, that is 0.949, which is close to 1. So this is how the level of development goes down. If you see numbers and come to Central African Republic, this value is 0.352. Okay. So where there is a very less development, the value is close to 0. Okay children, I hope you all have understood till here. Now see page number 49, there is a map given to you. This is the map of Maharashtra state. This is the population density map of Maharashtra, and here some questions are given to you. Observe the map carefully and try to answer some questions, and we will solve the worksheet, combined worksheet, when we will complete the chapter number 8. Okay children, here we come to the end of the lesson. I am sending the notes along with this. Copy the notes in your notebook. Thank you. Have a nice day.